Every day feels like a fight against invisible chains, against rules nobody asked for but everyone obeys, against a system pretending to serve but actually serving only control. Founders, leaders, investors, you know the pain better than anyone. Sitting at the top of the ladder doesn't mean peace. That constant pressure to innovate, to grow, to do more, to be perfect, it's exhausting. But what if the very thing everyone fears as the engine of this relentless pressure is the same force that could break those chains? What if capitalism, often blamed as the cause of all that chaos and greed, is actually the untapped power behind every real revolution? Not the fake kind with empty slogans and powerless protests, the kind that shakes the roots of the world and redraws the future. Look around. Everything that truly changed the world started with disruption. Disruption means battle. And capitalism is nothing else than the great battleground, where ideas, ambitions, struggles, and ultimately freedom collide. It's messy. It's brutal. And yet, it's the place where the individual rises or falls, where the uncomfortable, the rare, the unyielding find space to fight back, create, and shake the system. The system you complain about? It's weak. It's fragile because it fears the edge. But capitalism dances on edges, thrives on edges. It's the only engine powerful enough to fuel the fire of true change and salvation. But here's the brutal truth. Capitalism isn't a magic pill. It's a weapon. And like any weapon, it can either enslave you or liberate you. What decides which is which? The mindset, the will, the refusal to accept anything less than total transformation. If you walk the path only chasing numbers, comfortable growth, shallow influence, you're just playing their game. You're the prisoner of illusions, drowning in comfort while starving your fire. But if you choose to wield capitalism as a tool to break free, then it becomes a vehicle of revolution, of personal and collective liberation. Suddenly, profit isn't just about money, it's about power. The power to redefine reality, to tear down old illusions, to forge the future with your own hands. This revolution isn't about waiting for permission or a miracle. It's about being obsessed with progress, not from the center, where everyone plays it safe, but from the edges, where the rare few refuse the rules, reject mediocrity, and don't just want change. They demand transformation. This is where the real founders live. Those who know failure isn't defeat, but the fuel to burn brighter, harder, faster. Where investors don't just toss money, but become partners in a rebellion, amplifying the sparks that will ignite new worlds. Where leaders don't just manage, they inspire, disrupt, and shatter comfortable illusions to reveal raw, electrifying possibilities. Pain and frustration, they are unavoidable. They sting because the world is lying, telling you freedom is guaranteed while chaining you to systems designed to keep you small, average, and replaceable. Ideas are no longer dangerous because nobody truly wants them to be. Systems have stopped serving because they only exist to keep themselves alive. It feels like trying to swim upstream in a river that was redirected centuries ago. But what's forgotten is that rivers carve their own paths when they find resistance. They don't accept limits, they break them. Capitalism, at its core, is the river's flow, the unstoppable force that carries those who refuse to be confined. Every individual trapped in this current has potential that's being suffocated. Brilliance doesn't vanish, it's simply misunderstood, isolated, and starved of the connections it desperately needs. The real problem is, we haven't built the bridges. There's no infrastructure to link the rare ones. The ones who dream big, who dare, who burn hot without cooling off to fit in. Those who will remake everything but find no comrades strong enough to stand beside them. Capitalism, when embraced properly, isn't just a system of competition. It's a network of collaboration between the fierce and the bold. It can unlock these connections and create synergy that's heavier than the bricks of the old system, stronger than the walls institutions build to cage innovation. This is the rebellion. Not noisy chaos, not empty slogans. A focused, precise, unstoppable movement where the few who dare gather, not by accident, but by choice. To amplify essence, not noise. To build from the inside out, beyond nationality, titles, or comfort zones. To align only with those who burn as fiercely so that the fire multiplies. This is capitalism unmasked, not the game for many, but the weapon for the few. The ones who reject being part of a herd and want instead to shape what comes next. If it were easy, everyone would do it. But it's not. It requires patience, the kind that eats decades for breakfast. Truth is, true revolution is a long game, one that digs deep into your identity, your instincts, your values. It demands that you question everything, not just the rules written by others, but your own beliefs, fears, and limits. It insists on sovereignty, where your will is the sharp edge cutting through the fog of consensus. It calls for critical thinking that dismantles illusions and ruthless transformation that refuses to settle for good enough. No one will hand you this path on a golden plate. It's carved by those who refuse to accept the comfortable lies, the sweet poison of so-called freedom that really buries your fire beneath convenience and conformity. The true enemy isn't out there. It's in every moment you choose safety over sovereignty, comfort over chaos, silence over the roaring hunger for more. This is capitalism's irony. It offers freedom, but real freedom only comes when you become its master, not the servant. There's a reason the world invented mediocrity and normalized compliance. It's easier for them, easier to manage compliant masses than unpredictable creators, easier to sell comfort than to face the storm of change. But the answer lies in rejecting this trap. The rare don't seek ease, they seek ownership of their time, their mind, their impact. Capitalism, wielded by those with fire in their veins, becomes the liberation tool breaking chains on all fronts. It's literal, practical, and brutally effective. Because it thrives where others fear to go, into uncharted territory, into the unknown self, into the wild space between comfort and greatness. So what's the next move? Become deliberate, become unrelenting. Don't create for applause or safety, create to disrupt the noise and reorder the rules. Align yourself not with the many, but the few souls who carry the same blaze inside. Build networks not for belonging, but for becoming, where every connection multiplies your force exponentially. Invest not just capital, but deeply in ideas that unsettle, that challenge, that provoke thought and action. Lead not to manage, but to transform, to pull the brave to the front lines of innovation and upheaval. This is the true power capitalism unlocks when it's stripped of illusions and embraced as raw, transformative energy. Forget scaling noise, amplify essence. Forget chasing comfort, fuel discomfort for growth. Forget waiting for permission, craft your own reality, and bring those who dare to rise with you. The world may still turn on fake promises and rules made to bind, but capitalism, the true capitalism, moves faster, adapts smarter, burns hotter. It's not just an economic system, it is the engine of real rebellion. The power that, if harnessed, could finally align the misfits, the misunderstood, the radical few, and turn raw potential into unstoppable force. You don't need permission to start. You need fire, and the refusal to lose your spark. The world isn't waiting for you. It's shaking beneath you, yearning for the spark that burns beyond the rules. Capitalism is waiting too, not to serve the many, but to amplify the few who are ready to kill the comfortable life and birth something extraordinary with their bare hands. This is the engine. This is the revolution hidden inside the struggle you face every day. Fuel it wisely. Turn your pain into power. Burn fierce enough to reshape everything that suffocates and build the world no one else dared to dream was possible. The rare will never settle, because the game isn't just to survive, but to blaze a new path for everyone who's ever been told they don't belong. Keep burning, keep fighting. The revolution isn't coming, it's inside you, and it runs on true capitalism.